Today, we're talking about one of the most disturbing stories to come out of Ohio in years. Authorities say they found 16 children, ranging from 18 months to 18 years old, living inside a home in Vinton County, which is over there down near Hocking Hills. And honestly, the more information that's coming out, the harder this story is to wrap your head around.
Yeah. So let's start with what we know. Authorities discovered the children while serving a search warrant at a home in Hamden, Ohio. Investigators have said that they were not initially responding because of concerns about children. They didn't even know the children were inside when they arrived. Every child was requiring medical evaluation. Several were hospitalized and two were flown to trauma. Oh my God, trauma centers because of the severity of their condition. So officials have described this as one of the worst child welfare cases they've ever seen.
I just don't even want to know what we'll find out as we hear more. So,
No, it's going to be intense. It kind of reminds me of the California family. Remember where they had the kids like handcuffed to
yeah.
the beds, and they were the one where they'd all go to Disney. They'd have one big family trip together. One of the girls got away, but I think there were a lot of them.
4 adults have now been arrested. There's Gary Siders Jr., Elizabeth Siders, Gary Siders Sr., and Christina Lynn Siders. Each of them have been charged with multiple counts of child endangerment. They've all pled not guilty, and the criminal case is just getting started. Like, how do you not guilty? So, Jess, how does 16 children exist and almost nobody knows?
We were just discussing that before we started recording because I said, even if the kids are non-verbal, like, do they mean they physically can't make any sounds or just that they don't know how to speak?
Yeah, and she's still associated with her family. So what I heard is a lot of the family knew that she was having kids, but never thought it was that many kids.
Oh,
It's like once she got out of the picture, they just kind of let it
it's like
go
she
and
was
wonder
always
that.
pregnant, but they always just
It,
thought it was a
it,
couple of them.
yeah, because I don't think they seen her. I think it was
Yeah.
more like communication over probably the internet, things like
Oh,
that.
that is sad. You're right. I don't know. I
I
shouldn't
just
be
don't get
laughing at
how
it.
nobody knows
But
around
it's
them.
just so absurd. Yeah, because I was like, if even if, some people are deaf, they can still make noises. I guess mute. Are they mute or are they just don't know how to,
Is
speak
every single
English?
one of them in the same situation? Like, it just I don't
Mm.
see somebody having all those kids and they all
Yeah.
can't speak. I mean, I guess if they're not taught, yes.
Yeah, that's
But
the whole thing is they probably weren't. I mean, there was an 18-year-old there that they had some like severe developmental issues. And I mean, maybe that's across the board for all of them. Some people just cannot make babies together. It's like their genetics and the DNA, like sometimes it's like
just don't
always going to be
match.
a problem. The child will always be born with something deficient in something.
Yeah,
I don't know much about it, but it's interesting. So I don't really know how that happened.
right.
So that's what really does blow my mind. So, where were they going? Obviously, not to school,
Yeah.
not to the doctor, no birthday parties. I mean, we saw these people, they looked like death warmed over. Like, honestly, like they looked half dead.
You've seen the kids? I have
No,
not.
the four
Oh,
adults,
yeah, yeah.
like they look deathly as well. Like, I don't know
Like,
what
they
was
don't
going
go
on.
out of the house, like, everybody just stays in there, but I did read she goes to a local pantry at
Yes.
least once. I think it's the rules, like, once a month or once a week,
Yeah,
one
I
of
think it
them,
was like once a week and they
and
would
she
come
would
and ask,
try.
which means
So
there's a real, I mean, that means there's a lot of need. And that means someone should have noted that. And I mean, maybe she did. Maybe, I don't know. But they've been living there a few years. If they've been doing this a few years, I think before it gets to the years mark,
yeah,
we need to like look into this. Like, oh, obviously they need help. Like, should we go check their home?
yeah,
I don't know. Anyway,
there's so
so
much more that
no
we're gonna
friends,
hear.
nothing.
So, and now here's where things start getting complicated. We've started hearing from those family members, as we had just mentioned.
Mhm.
Again, these families' accounts are not findings confirmed at this point by law enforcement. According to relatives, Elizabeth allegedly became pregnant when she was only 13. You probably already heard that. That's one of the things going around.
That is so young. I mean, I think of myself at 13. There's just no way.
I
I mean, I got pregnant at 17 and had a kid at 18. I still don't know how that worked out, but it did.
I didn't even know what sex was at 13.
I knew what it was. Some girls in like second grade showed me a porn at their house, and that like ruined my life.
Actually, I have to take it back. My neighbor, my best friend growing up was a boy, and we were like 6 and 7, and his
Yeah.
dad did have Playboy magazines
Yeah. So I
under
just
the
think we
stairs.
weren't thinking about it as much. I think we liked boys at 13. I think we were contemplating sex, but we weren't like, I don't think we were ready for it
I think
yet. I think we were
maybe my
scared of it.
so they say the relationship continued despite repeated attempts to get help. Eventually, the couple reportedly married in West Virginia. So they left. She threatened mom supposedly with the baby, said, "You'll never see the baby if you don't let me go." She wanted emancipated. It couldn't happen. So they moved to West Virginia. Some of the family members say they slowly lost contact with Elizabeth over the years, and some believe she was isolated and controlled herself, which I am somewhat not off that bandwagon.
Yeah.
I'm
I think
starting to
I can
think
see it.
there was manipulation because how can you not be manipulated at 13?
It's
And he
true.
was 16 at the time. So,
Yeah. No, it makes sense. So that's actually something people don't think about. Can someone be both a victim and later become responsible for hurting others? I think yes, both things can be true. She can be a victim, but still kind of have to know the between right and wrong. But then also, if you're being brainwashed,
right. Or if there's more to the story that we haven't even heard.
yeah, like maybe she's a bit delayed. Maybe she's not with all of all of her senses, and
And that's
maybe
why that is one of the hardest questions in this case. Even if someone experiences years of abuse, that doesn't erase responsibility if children are harmed,
yeah.
but it can explain how a situation would spiral over many years.
Yeah, that does
So
make sense.
let's talk about the mom.
Mhm.
So, one thing that really hit me, Elizabeth's mother apparently continued posting birthday messages. I've seen them on the internet. She did it online year after year, hoping someday her daughter would come back. Can you imagine, though, being that mom, still hoping after all those years?
And
Probably
waiting. Yeah.
knew all these kids were there, but at the same
Like, is
point,
she dead? Is she alive?
why would the mom not report something? I don't know. We can't really say
Well, if she was
that.
emancipated at that point, I mean, she would have had to start this process in the
They would have
very
told
beginning.
her, "Kick rocks, we can't do anything,
Yeah.
she's an adult," basically,
Kick rocks. I think it's so funny when you say that. I've never heard that expression until you.
so what's been alleged? Now, there are several claims circulating online that have not been confirmed by investigators. This is just hearsay, so don't take us as like a Fox or 13 ABC, even though they report a lot of wrong information.
Misinformation. We all
So
do it on
but
accident sometimes.
So they include allegations of the following. So the children were never, ever enrolled in school, not one of them. They spent long, long periods confined to one room. I heard like 12 by 12, which is a tiny bedroom. I mean, not the smallest bedroom, but still for kids
I
to be.
mean,
How many
literally,
kids?
that's 2 6-foot tall people like this. I mean, that's not a big room.
Right. So one child did attempt suicide, is from what we're hearing on the
Hmm.
internet. The family had additional children who did indeed pass.
Yeah, like where are they?
Yeah, I heard that one of the investigations, the reason they're where they're at is a Columbus investigation. Did a child pass away? Is that why this happened? So if that's the case, then they would have kind of expected at least a kid to be in there when they went and busted down the door. But could you imagine if you're expecting 3 people, 4 people, and
All of a sudden,
you
you
have a
open a
whole
door
house?
and it's like human trafficking situation. There's like 20 of them in there.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It is. So ultimately, Elizabeth gave children to far more children than 16 found in the home. At this point, none of those claims have been confirmed by law enforcement, as we had said earlier, and it's important not to treat them as established facts. So we were telling you, we heard this, we don't know if it's true.
Mhm.
Jessica, why don't you tell us about the welfare discussion?
All right. So, another rumor that was explored online is that Elizabeth had children primarily to receive government benefits. I do believe this because people do this every day.
Well, the more money, yeah.
Yeah, but there's a cap, by the way. So if they just thought they were going to keep getting more and more money, but I guess
Are they on Section 8? Well, no, because they'd have to have their
you have to
house
have a steady
inspected.
address, yeah, to do this. And what? So they're just going to register like 5 of those kids? They obviously didn't register all 16 of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not fully sold on
Even
this,
though
but
we
partially.
have to be careful with that. I mean, that is
Yeah.
one thing people are saying is it's for the money. I mean, I know people that adopt and do temporary fostering. I don't know them personally, but I know people do that
Yeah.
for the money. So, Dad's background, I did look him up a little bit, and I did see it.
Now, when you say dad, you mean the junior.
Yeah. So he had previous encounters in law enforcement. There are also public records involving Gary Siders Sr. Like I said, he had like 56 charges, a lot of theft and things like that. As far as Gary Jr., the important part, having a criminal record doesn't prove someone committed these current crimes, which we don't even know what crimes specifically they committed. So that's what the courts are for. I know I say that a lot, but I don't want anybody coming at us like you're giving false information. We're saying we don't know.
We kept asking ourselves is how many opportunities were missed? How many medical visits? How did the neighbors not know? I mean, the government agencies we kind of touched on, like
the food pantries that she would go to.
Yeah. And I'm not even going to say schools because obviously they're not in the
schools, but you get in trouble for that. Like so many
You're
people
supposed
try to
to.
hide it and they get caught.
Yeah. And then, the food pantry, which was probably at a church, you would just think somebody would have reached out. Someone would have noticed. Someone would have said something.
Right.
But also, if one person says it, a lot of times they need more than one person. They need actual proof. And it's so hard to get actual legitimate proof. That's why so many people get away with things.
It's so true. So, some questions, Jess. Do you think something like this happens here? Like right now, do you think there's a house in Toledo with something like this?
I bet you there is. There's gotta be.
When we drive through the neighborhood, sometimes I'm like, I wonder if we ever drive past one of these abandoned houses with bodies in them.
That's true. I mean, I'm sure we're all
or an elderly that doesn't have any family and friends that
Mhm.
passes and nobody knows.
No, yeah. I mean, eventually someone finds out, but it's okay to question what's going on. Being nosy isn't always bad. It's what you're doing with your nosy answers.
And right, exactly. And I didn't look into like the location of their house, but it looks like it is in like a neighborhood, not in the middle of nowhere where you have 10-mile neighbors.
Right.
So do you feel neighbors seen stuff and just turned a blind eye? Do you think they should have some like responsibility?
So I actually saw an interview of one of the neighbors. It was a man, and he was like, "Yeah, I lived next to him for years now. It's always been really quiet. I've never even seen a kid." Like never. He's like the whole time he's never seen a child.
So there was no red flags.
No.
So,
but what's weird is there was a bicycle in the pile of junk in every photo that I saw outside of the house. But was that bicycle like blocking the window that they were trying to get in, and the police threw that stuff out there, or was that already out there?
And I did see a photo on Facebook that was a bunch of kids that was related to the Siders name. But then again, I see a lot of people in that community saying there's a bunch of other Siders that aren't related. Like a girl had to call out and she was like, I don't know how many people I can tell, stop coming at me. This is not me. This is not my family. I'm not related. And somehow along the lines, though, she ended up saying, like, when I was a kid, I knew her, I guess. So somehow there is probably a distant relation. But at that point, is it
Of
really?
course, because they're not going to be like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
That's my sister. Of course, someone did, actually. So her brother was, what was he, Joey or something?
He's on the internet, on the comments, commenting about her. But at the same point, the brother also had a few.
Yeah, and it sounds like
jail for years for like
neglect or something.
Serious harm to a child.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on. And maybe this is normal behavior. I mean, everyone lives so differently. I don't want to say anything wrong, but when you get into really rural areas, it's kind of like small towns, how they say it's corrupt. Like they have like their own, I mean, like community. Like I just watched this curious case of where this lady convinced her whole town to let her, she like dug up her family members and had them in her house.
Oh, I watched that.
And
she convinced a lot of people to let it happen.
And it's a small town. It's a small town
And
thing.
she had money too.
Well,
I think
yeah,
there was some
everyone
money
wanted her
involved there.
money, but also people did turn a blind eye. Like the cops knew, but they just were ignoring. So, small towns.
I feel like more people report things too, but the
Mhm.
problem is like we seen a suspicious thing happen at the park once and there was nothing we could say for sure,
Right.
but it was weird and it was creepy and we felt the need to have to call and report.
And
But to report it, they acted like we're
right.
idiots.
But the
So
thing is, like, some people just feel, you can just feel that something's off and something is wrong.
yeah, that was creepy, that
Hmm.
one. But either way,
I think they
see
should take it
something,
more
say
seriously.
something.
Yeah. At
That's what
least you
I think.
did your part.
Yep, and then if you find out you have 16 kids and you saw that one thing that one day and never did anything, I would imagine that would affect me for the rest of my
Mhm.
life
Yeah.
because I would feel like I ignored
I'd
a
rather feel like
sign.
I'm reporting it and maybe reporting it wrong and then bad on
Yeah,
me.
be like,
And then you
"Hey,
just
I
have to
might
own it.
be completely wrong.
Hey,
Don't
I
tell
suck.
them
I'm
I
sorry. I'm
called
crazy.
you, but, like, this is going on.
Yeah. I
Don't
mean,
tell them I
been
told you."
there, done that. So yeah. So don't just state that there's like one child attempted suicide as a fact.
And if
How
we have
many were there?
yeah,
Could there have been more than just one? Do you even think there was one?
if you guys have any information, we'd love to hear
Hmm.
any updates from you, anything you're
Yes.
hearing on
Like
the
if you live
internet.
there locally, you have the most information. If you live
Yes.
by them, I think I
At
don't know how can they just get away with like not
at this point, I wanna
being
hear the
caught?
kids are okay. I wanna hear the kids are gonna be taken to
Oh,
safe
for
homes
sure.
and just prayers for the kids
No
involved,
doubt.
and prayers for her if she indeed is a victim of these people.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just wait and have to see what we find
Yeah.
out.
And they better get good foster homes because I'll be mad if they put them in a place that was crappy
Oh, which
after they've already been through
happens.
crap.
Yeah,
So don't do that. Be
yes.
better.
Be better.